Hello, Ryan.
Hello?
Hello, Ryan.
You hear me?
I can hear you. My dear,
Okay.
why aren't you vegan yet?
So I actually do some vegan diets in some parts of the year because I'm a very religious person. I'm a Catholic, so during the Lent season, I don't eat any animal products for 40 days as part of a devotion. But
Okay, but
I
actually,
was
I think
wondering.
I think you should know that veganism actually isn't a diet. It's an ethical decision to not exploit animals. Veganism is a justice movement to liberate animals. So, you might
Okay.
follow a plant-based diet sometimes, but veganism, a plant-based diet fits into veganism, but veganism is an ethical decision to not
So
exploit.
what would you call that diet then? Because it's not vegetarianism because they still eat some
Yeah,
animal products.
so that would be a plant-based diet.
Okay, I understand. So I'm just wondering your overall opinion on why you believe we should be vegan.
Right. So the reason that I'm vegan is because I cannot think of a good justification to exploit other animals. Um, you know,
Okay.
and so like going further into it, like it's not like further into the diet thing. There's no diet that says you can't wear leather, right? There's no diet that says you don't wear fur or whatever.
Hmm.
So it goes further than diet. It's just like extending our compassion to non-human animals. And I think that this
Okay.
is in line with most people's beliefs. It's just a matter of, realizing that and then aligning your actions with your beliefs.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'm actually here to learn. I'm not here to just like troll like a bunch of people are because I actually do want to hear your side of it. Um, but
Well, I
what I will
appreciate
say though is I mean every single creature on this earth is like inherently designed to consume another living thing, whether that's a plant or an animal. I mean we can't
that.
get our food from something that's non-living. Every single thing that we
Right.
eat is based on something that's living, and
But
like
we don't have to
there
exploit
are.
somebody that's sentient, you know? Like plants
That's
aren't
true, but
sentient.
there are a lot of animals that eat other animals, of course, and they kill them in much more cruel ways than we do. So I was just wondering your opinion on that.
Well, I don't think that that's moral. I don't think it's moral for like a lion to kill a zebra. But lions
Okay.
also they also like they're not moral agents. They also rape each other. They also commit infanticide. So that's why we don't get our morals from wild animals. And they also, they don't shop at a grocery store. Like we
Yeah.
have the choice. Like we're able to decide, whether we're going to exploit other animals or not. And so I think that we should choose not to.
So what you're saying is that us human beings have a unique ability to think rationally over other animals, and we have the ability to make right and wrong decisions, and we should make the right decision, which is not eat other animals because it's morally wrong to hurt another sentient being for our pleasure.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes,
I
that's my stance.
that's okay. I understand where you're coming from. I
Yeah,
would
do
need
you
like
agree?
um, I mean, I wouldn't say I particularly agree because I feel like I'm personally a Christian and we are we have inherent authority over other animals on this planet, and I don't
Right.
think I think there should be certainly a lot of regulations on how they should be killed, and I personally don't believe that hunting should be allowed besides for consuming. I don't think it should be a sport because I think it's wrong to kill other animals for like a game. But
Right,
I
but
do think
we
we
don't
are.
have to kill animals at all. Like we could just not kill animals at all. We don't have to kill them. Like we're at a point in time where we don't have to do that. And I hear that you're a Christian, but like, when the Bible was being written, when Jesus was around, we didn't have all of these other options. We didn't have grocery stores. And I would be like interested to think like what do you think Jesus would do if Jesus was here today and Jesus had the choice to like either kill a goat or to eat some oats. I think Jesus would pick oats over goats. Do you agree?
I mean, I don't know because he did eat a lot of meat in the Bible. I mean he. I mean I don't know what your opinion is on marine life, but he ate fish after the resurrection to show that
Right. But
he's
you
alive.
see, he also they were existing at a time before. like grocery stores and before all of these options. I'm not trying to go back in time and convince people from thousands of years ago to go vegan. I'm trying to convince you today because you have the option. And like God, like if you believe in God and God created these animals that are thinking and feeling and have their own subjective experiences, why why would why should we exploit them? Why should we make them suffer? Why should we kill them? Why should we take their life when we just don't have to?
I understand where you're coming from, and I feel like that makes a lot more sense for first world countries. But do you think the same should be applied in like third world areas where they don't have the ability to make like things that taste like meat but aren't actually meat? Like, do you think it should be applied for places like Africa?
Well, I'm not trying to convince people in third world countries to go vegan, but actually, people that live in third world countries eat a mostly plant based diet because
Yeah.
the cheapest foods on the market are already plant based. Like it's actually kind of like a rich privilege to be able to afford to eat the flesh and secretions of animals because it is expensive. The cheapest foods on the market, like beans, rice, grains, legumes, pasta, potatoes, they're already vegan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, I think I understand where you're coming from. I mean, I'm a little bit undecided on the issue now. I think you have changed my opinion a little bit. But
Right. So
yeah,
what would be stopping like at this point with, your perspective having shifted, what would be stopping you from going vegan?
well, I think that our interests, we are divinely created by God, in my opinion, at least. I'm not saying that that's everybody's opinion, but personally, I believe that we're divinely created by God, and our um, our needs in terms of hunger, like our biological needs, um, like come before the prosperity of animals. And I'm not
But
saying that we should abuse animals.
we can satisfy those needs without exploiting animals, And in
That's
fact,
true.
we can do better without exploiting animals. Do you know that plant-based dieters are at a lower risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease, which is the number one killer for humans on the planet, and they're at a lower risk of cancer, they're at a lower risk of diabetes. Like vegans live 13 years longer on average than non-vegans. So, like the reason to go vegan is for the animals, but aside from that, it also has selfish benefits.
Okay. Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that. Um, yeah, I don't really know where to take the conversation from here, but yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay. Well, my dear, if you wouldn't mind, I have some suggestions for you. If you want, you can screenshot the live so you can remember this. But I think that you should
Okay.
check out Dominion documentary on YouTube. It goes through the standard practices of the animal agriculture industries.
Yeah. All right,
And
I just did.
yeah, great. I think you should just watch that and just think about like, is this something that I want to support? Is this something that I want to be part of? And then the second point on the screen is Gary Yourofsky's most important speech. This is an ethical speech.